Welcome to the Rich in Life podcast, the space where we redefine success beyond money and titles, because real wealth isn't just about income. It's about freedom, impact, and building a life that truly feels as good as it looks. Whether you're running a business, managing a career, raising a family, or juggling it all, this podcast is here to help you create success on your terms. So sit back, get comfy, grab your headphones, and let's get rich in life. What if I told you that you can build the life and career you want without sacrificing your relationships? But what does this actually take? It takes intentionality, boundaries, and a support system that actually works. In this episode, we are going to tackle a big question that I get asked often, which is, how do you chase your own ambitions while being fully present for your family? AKA, how do you do it all? If you're a parent, a partner, or even just someone balancing multiple responsibilities, you know these challenges and pain points, right? You want to grow in your career or your business, but you also want to be there for the people who matter most. You and your partner maybe both have big goals, and sometimes it just feels like you're running in different directions, and you're really just two ships passing in the night. Or maybe you know deep down that you need help, but asking for it or actually accepting it is a whole other battle. And honestly, this is the biggest pain point for me still, asking and accepting help from others. This is the Rich in Life podcast, where success isn't just about the money. It's about freedom, impact, and building a business and life that feels as good as it looks. So, how do we chase our own ambitions while being present for our family? Seems impossible, right? But let's start with the truth here. There is no perfect balance. What there is alignment, and that's what we're aiming for. Alignment, not perfection. So here are 3 things that I've learned about pursuing big goals while also showing up for my family as a single mother of 4. Guilt is gonna be inevitable, but you get to choose what you do with it, because we can't be in 5 places at once. So we're going to let someone down. The guilt of taking time away from your family to work on your dreams versus the guilt of not going after all of your dreams. Here's how we can reframe that way of thinking, and maybe we won't feel so guilty. Instead, we can say, I'm showing my kids what is possible, and I'm building something that benefits all of us. I'm doing this for my family. Again, we're talking about the why, which in the last episode, we went really deep into the difference of purpose-driven goals and the why. So take a listen to that. Next, we're going to define your non-negotiables. So those are things like what matters most to you. An example of this could be like family dinners, bedtime, tucking your kids in every night, Sunday mornings together, going for a walk every weekend. What are your non-negotiables? Get clear on where you will not compromise those non-negotiables, and then build everything else around that. So that is your foundation. Your non-negotiables are your foundations, and then you can build on top of that with your time of where everything else fits in. Another really important thing is to be present where your feet are. And that's a really good visual, right? Like, where are you physically? Where are your feet? And be present with wherever that is. When you're with your family, be with your family, not half checking emails. When you're working, focus on that task without the guilt, because it is working time. Have your head down and your phone in the other room so you have absolutely no distractions, and it is pure work time. Remember, it's not about more time. It's about intentional time. We talked about that in a previous episode as well. We can't create more time, but we can be really intentional with our time. So write down your top 3 non-negotiables for your family. These are the things that you refuse to sacrifice no matter how busy things get, and it's up to you to keep yourself accountable to that. If you go back to episode 4, we talk about how to manage our time, and I have a free worksheet with that episode where you can map out where your time goes, where the leaks are, and how to build around your foundations. We map it all out in about a couple page worksheet for you. So how do you navigate relationships when both partners have big goals, right? When both you and your partner are ambitious, things can get a little complicated. So how do you support each other without feeling like you're competing or like someone else's dreams have to take a backseat? So here are a couple things that research has shown works. Have the what's called season talk. Not every season is a 50-50 split. Sometimes one partner is going to be in growth mode while the other partner is holding things down on the home front. And then you switch, right? So it's equal opportunity. So maybe that looks like when one of you is launching something new, or you have a big project coming up, or you know that one of you is up for a promotion, the other one might need to pick up more at home. Then you trade off when the time comes and you've reached that goal. You can't both be on 100% of the time. It will actually be completely unproductive if you both try to go 100% full focus 100% of the time. Not everyone will agree with this next one, but it's communicate like you're running a business. Have weekly check-ins. Ask the questions. What's on your plate this week? Where do you need support? If you have clear communication, then you can't be surprised or disappointed. You need to have clarity on the expectations. Who's handling what? And what's our game plan for the busy days? Do we need to bring in outside help? Do we need to adjust our schedules? You need to know what the other person has going on. This is actually something I do with my kids since I do not have a partner currently. We have family meetings and we also have a shared family calendar. So the calendar, of course, serves as a visual for the kids of scheduling for sports and school events, but it's also for them to know if I will be out of town for work or if I have an evening work event and maybe I'm going to be home a little bit late. That way they know where I am. I want them to have clear communication with me with that. We also have a family meeting. So it's more actually like a family check-in, I would say. We go back and forth and we ask questions or we say what's on our mind. I think most people just assume how people feel. And in my case, obviously, like how my kids are feeling, right? So I don't want to assume that I know what they need for the week because then they just get frustrated. We both get frustrated because it could be something like, oh, mom, tomorrow morning, I have this project due. And then we've all been there and we all get frustrated where we're running to the store and we're building this diagram because we didn't have clear communication on what was going on. So what I do in our family meetings or check-ins is I ask them, how are they feeling about what is coming up in the week ahead? And really, we talk about frustrations within our family and how we can each improve in our dynamics and within our household. And it's honestly been a game changer. I will literally ask my kids how they think I'm doing as a mom and if they would like to, if there's maybe things going on where they feel like I've been too busy with work and they feel like they need me more, where maybe I feel like I am a mastery of my time and that I have allotted enough family time and been there for the important things. But again, I don't want to assume how they feel. So I do ask them, do you feel like you need some more one-on-one time with mom? Do you feel like you need another game night built in? How are you feeling? It's a really simple conversation. And you can do this with your children, you can do this with your partner, and you can do this all together as a family. So going back to conversations with your partner specifically, it's important to support and not resent, right? If your partner has a big goal coming up, ask them, how can I support you in a way that doesn't make me feel depleted? That's a better way of saying it. Instead of you're always working, try saying, how can we create time for us even during this busy season? It's important to remember that you're on the same team and that your partner probably wants the same things, but maybe one person is a better communicator than the other, or maybe one person is a better planner than the other. So see if you can plan a 10-minute check-in at least with your partner or your family to talk about your current season that you're in. It really only takes asking simple questions like, what's our biggest challenge right now? And how can we support each other better to have really fluid conversations and to help be on the same page? Another way that you can be fully present for your family is creating a support system that actually helps. As human beings, we are not meant to do life alone, or business for that matter. But here's the catch. You need to build a support system that actually helps, not just one that looks good on paper or sounds good, or you have that in the back of your mind. The key is to ask for help before you need it. Don't wait until you're drowning to reach out. Try to get ahead of it and see where you can delegate. It's really important that you build a village. You've heard the saying with kids, especially, it takes a village to raise the kids. This can be friends, family members, mentors, or even paid help if you have the means to do so. Do you have friends maybe that have kids the same age in the same sports that you can carpool with? Do you have mentors that you can ask to go to coffee with to bounce ideas off of and do a brain dump? Are you in a position where you can hire a task helper or an assistant? Get clear on the kind of help you actually need. Do you need more time? Maybe a few hours a week to focus on your goals. Do you need emotional support? Maybe someone who listens and encourages you. Or do you need practical help like childcare, someone who cleans your house, or maybe an executive assistant. It's really important that you figure out what kind of help you actually need. We all say, man, I could use more help. But what do you need the help in? What is the thing that you can take off your plate so you can focus on your zone of genius or to get back more time with your family? But the other half of this is you have to be willing to receive help. If someone offers to help, let them. You don't have to be Superwoman. And if you're trying to be Superwoman, that's how you're just going to get burned out. Because I promise you, no one actually does it all. And if they say that they do, they're full of crap. I personally used to think that asking for help meant I was failing. And I talked about this in one of our earlier episodes. But once I finally started accepting support from family, I had a nanny for a very long time, and even just from friends who checked on my emotional well-being and my mental state, everything got easier. It really turns out that people want to help. They truly do. You just have to let them. So what's one area where you could use more support? Get clear on where you need the help and then make a plan to ask for it. Put the plan in motion. So let's recap this episode. There's no perfect balance, only intentional alignment. You're going to define your non-negotiables and be present with where your feet are. Remember that visual, present with where your feet are grounded. With your partner, if you both have big goals, communication is everything. Have those family check-ins, have those family meetings. It can be in the car ride. And you're going to build a support system that actually helps, and you're going to be willing to use it. You're going to accept the help. So where can you make a shift to balance your goals and your family life better? You know, I want you to DM me on Instagram, and that handle is @rich_in_life_podcast. And let's talk about it. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with another ambitious partner, or maybe a partner who needs to hear this. And until next time, keep chasing your dreams and being present where it matters most.
Live radio, local podcasts, the Frederick Podcast Network at listenfrederick.com.